And there's only one person that can do the job. Daffy Duck. Daffy?
Oh, no, not the duck.
The duck?
That's right. The duck.
You gotta be kidding me. Who greenlit this garbage?
Who's there?
I'm so glad I didn't watch any of these trailers before I saw the movie, because that gal was really fun in the theater. Anyway, good evening guys, Jigger Newman here for the Game Preserve, and I got a Bladeslinger vlog for you, and it's on The Day the Earth Blew Up, the Looney Tunes movie. Okay, so I don't think the Looney Tunes really need any kind of introduction. They are one of the most iconic cartoon franchises of all time. However, it's been a while since anything of note has really been done with the Looney Tunes. Ever since the unfortunate failure of the Looney Tunes show, not a whole lot has been done with this franchise. That's despite some attempts to, revitalize it. Famous attempt being, I think it's Wile Coyote versus Acme or something, which was one of the movies that WB unfortunately killed off to get a tax write-off. Screw you guys for that. But recently, a new Looney Tunes movie has hit theaters, and unfortunately, it doesn't seem like a lot of people are talking about this one, outside of people like me who are just big animation fans. So I really enjoyed the movie, so I thought I'd take some time to get the word out and talk about how much fun The Day the Earth Blew Up is. So the movie centers around Daffy Duck and Porky Pig, who in this film are portrayed as adopted brothers who are trying to keep their childhood home afloat. Unfortunately, after their roof is damaged, they are forced to take a job in order to raise enough money to repair it. Otherwise, the homeowners association is going to condemn the property and leave Porky and Daffy homeless. Unfortunately, the two find themselves to be as inept as, well, Daffy Duck and Porky Pig, and struggle to find any kind of solid work for them. That is until they meet Petunia Pig, who hooks them up with jobs at a gun factory she works at. A job that is so simple, even an idiot could do it. Which I kind of took offense to because, I'm a factory worker, but I digress. Unfortunately, they find that something sinister is afoot in the gun factory, as the product has been tainted by some kind of alien substance that causes anyone who chews the gum to be taken over by some kind of alien parasite. Daffy and Porky Pig accidentally stumble upon this alien conspiracy and take it upon themselves to save the Earth before it is, I guess, blown up. It's kind of unclear what is going to happen if they don't stop these things, so that's also part of the fun of the movie, I must admit. Okay, so I don't think a lot of people are aware of what a big landmark this is for the Looney Tunes franchise. This is the first Looney Tune movie to be completely original and completely animated. Now, that's not to say that the Looney Tunes haven't been on the big screen before. They most certainly have been on the big screen before. But, back in the day, Looney Tunes movies were really just compilations of all the different cartoons, which was convenient for the time because this was before home video. So there was no way to watch your favorite cartoons at home after they left the theaters. So being able to see some really popular ones was a big deal. Then you had stuff like Space Jam and Looney Tunes Back in Action, which was, live action and animation mixed together. This is the first time we have ever had a completely original animated Looney Tunes movie. And that also makes it really special in the modern landscape of animation because, 2D animated films are very uncommon these days. Everything these days is 3D animated because it's just so much cheaper and easier to do. So to actually go to the theaters and see one that is traditionally animated, not just stylized to look like 2D animation like a lot of the recent animated films have been, it was really special. And also for it to be of such a high quality is also something to be commended. The animation in this film is fantastic. The stretch and squish is great. The way the characters move, even when they're just standing around talking to each other, is very true to the original Looney Tunes cartoons. There's a lot of energy to it. The slapstick is on point. The sound effects are great. The voice acting just gels up perfectly. It is just a really, really, really well-made movie. And looking at it, and even just the credits of it, you can tell a lot of money went into this animation, which really baffles the mind as to why I don't see this film getting a whole lot of promotion from Warner Bros. It's almost like they're expecting the film to fail just by virtue of the fact that, it's a 2D animated film, and while, there is some logic behind that, it really is a shame, because I feel like you take your kids to see this, they're probably going to have a blast with it, and animation fans like me are going to love the hell out of it too. So then, the other thing I really love about this movie is that the plot is actually really good for a Looney Tunes story, and it's mostly just because of how insane it is. Like, there are so many oddball twists and turns in this movie. I genuinely did not know where it was going a lot of the time, which just is really good for a Looney Tunes movie, especially with one of the recurring themes of the movie with, what is it? Daffy Duck and Porky Pig, whether or not they're doing more harm than good with what they're doing. But we're getting into spoiler territory there, which I don't want to do. So, yeah, in general, The Day the Earth Blew Up is just a blast. But I did have a few issues with it. The first thing I didn't like about the movie was some of the performances just felt a little off. While I thought Daffy was just fine, I thought Porky Pig's voice actor sounded a little off. He just spoke a little too clearly for my taste, and he didn't come off as much of a dork as Porky Pig is supposed to be. I'm not sure why they chose to do that, but, I'm sure they had a reason for it. Just at times it's hard to remember that it is supposed to be Porky Pig. And the other issue I had with this film is that Daffy seemed really out of character. When I think of Daffy Duck, I think of a character who is self-entitled, self-important, and very high on himself, even though he himself is terribly unskilled and doomed to fail at everything despite his inflated sense of self. But in this film, he's more of a lunatic than anything else, and who doesn't think things through, which seems a little strange for Daffy. I just felt at times like he was a little out of character. I don't understand why they decided to do that, but that's kind of a nitpick because the character they have here still does work with the film. But I feel like they should have tried to get the character a little bit better because, Porky and Daffy, they are the only Looney Tunes who appear in this movie. I guess you could make an argument for Petunia Pig as well, but outside of an appearance in the Looney Tunes show, and I think Baby Looney Tunes, I can't think of any Looney Tunes cartoons, noteworthy ones I can think of that she appeared in. But yeah, it's mostly just Porky and Daffy, which I have a feeling some people are going to complain about. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people want to see Bugs, Foghorn Leghorn, Yosemite Sam, Elmer Fudd, all those guys. But I also feel like the film is really smart that they didn't include any of those characters, because a lot of problems that Looney Tunes movie tend to have is that characters would just kind of come and go randomly, and it would just kind of feel like shameless cameos more than anything. You can definitely tell that the people making this want to focus on these two characters, and I would say that works out in the film's favor. It also helps that the other characters in the movie are just equally entertaining. Petunia Pig, I actually really like. I thought she was really quirky. I liked her personality, and moments between her and Porky actually were really cute. The villain in this movie is a lot of fun. I thought for sure that they were just going to have Marvin the Martian in the role, but no, it's a completely new character, and he is right at home in this world. And there's also this scientist character who spends most of the film under mind control But then in the last third of the movie, he takes a more prominent role. He's really entertaining. Daffy Duck and Porky's father figure is also really funny. I especially love how he's barely animated. He's just like this hyper detailed render of a farmer character, and I don't know what it was. I just found that really funny. And I'm sure you've noticed probably that there's a bit of gross out humor in this too. Like there's a lot of jokes in regards to butt cracks and everything, but it's not as prominent as the trailers make it out to be. And when it is on screen, it's more funny than you would think. Like you see that image of the dog blowing a bubble out its butt. That honestly had me laughing in the theater. Like I was just laughing so hard at this movie. This was just a funny movie. And it's one that'll appeal to adults too, because there are a lot of jokes that are gonna go over kids' heads. And like it was mostly adults in the theater who were watching this. Said, yeah, I'm amazed that they got away with just a straight PG rating. But yeah, the Looney Tunes movie, The Day the Earth Blew Up, really great movie. If it's still in theaters by the time you guys watch this, I highly recommend checking it out. I think it's going to be on HBO Max here soon, and when it comes out there, be sure you check that out too, because, I want this movie to be successful, because I would love to see more Looney Tunes movies like this, trying different things with all the different characters, try to bring them, back to the theaters in an industry capacity like that. But because of how little Warner Bros. Has actually promoted this movie, I have a feeling it's only going to be geeks like me who really just wanted to see this movie because, it's Looney Tunes, it's 2D animation, it's just something you don't see much anymore. But yeah, that's going to do it for this one, guys. I'll see you next time.